Welcome to the Honest Designers Show, your transparent look into life as a modern designer. My name is Tom Ross, and I'm the founder at designcuts.com. And this week I'm joined by my fellow Brit and hand lettering expert, Ian Barnard, and the incredibly talented South African illustrator, Miss Lisa Glantz. This week we're talking about how to stop hating on clients. Clients are not the enemy, but there is an awful lot of negativity floating around in the design community when it comes to clients. Why is this? And is there a better way? That's exactly what we dive into in today's episode. So without further ado, let's get into the show. Hey guys.
What's up?
Tom.
We're down at Dustin again today.
Down at Dustin.
Which, you know, I'm getting used to, if I'm being honest. I thought I missed him, but I'm all right. It's like water off a duck's back.
Dustin. Oh, Big D.
It's all right. You got one of his t-shirts. You can just wear that when you're missing him.
Okay. Yeah, we've got all kinds of tongues wagging through our little romantic exchange in our Instagram stories last night. I do miss you, Dustin, if you're listening. Okay, so because we're pressed for time, we are going to do about a 20-minute long episode today. I'm saying this at the start, so we hold ourselves accountable. But we did want to fit this in, and it's quite an important topic. And side note, in my company, I've actually started halving my call times and my meeting times. Oh my God. Revolutionary.
Really? Do you still get stuff done in your meeting?
Massively. I think as the expression goes, it's like if you got a 10-pound bag or 10-gallon bag rather, you're going to fit 10 gallons of shit into it.
That's true.
Like, it's so true. Like, if you've got an hour for a meeting, you take an hour. If you've got half an hour, you have the same meeting in half an hour.
That's why I have a small handbag. It's true.
But yeah, honestly, little side tip there. If you're struggling with time, try and actually half it. And yeah, I feel like a new man. That's why I was so positive today when I jumped on with you guys. I was like, I'm getting stuff done for a change. All right, so no more waffle, down to business. We've got 20 minutes to dissect this topic. I'll kick us off. I'm sick of seeing all the moaning. And I feel like there's about 10% of designers, and I know some of them personally, who are speaking out against this and saying clients aren't the enemy. Let's sort of stop, bitching and whining about them. There's a better way. There's many designers who are saying actually it should be a collaborative process and you can be friends with your clients. And in many cases, you benefit from that. You should be working together as a team. It can be like a great relationship. You can achieve amazing things together. All of this positivity. That's definitely all true, in my opinion, but it's definitely in the minority. What I see from 90% is they're laughing at clients, they're poking fun, they're making memes, they're making them out to be the devil in cases. The client's the enemy, they're really rubbish, it's never my fault, they screwed me over, we should be scared of clients, we should hold them at arm's length, we should belittle them. And I think it's such a load of crap, and I'm ranting now, but I think it's so rubbish. And what generally happens, and I've noticed this, is it's the more successful designers that actually tend to love clients. And it's the people who are struggling. And I feel like they take their insecurities out and their frustrations at not being further along out on the client, or there's stuff that they should take responsibility for and hold themselves accountable. And instead of doing that, it's easier to be a blamer than a claimer.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Tom. There we are. Finish the episode.
Yeah, there we go. 5 minutes down.
Have you guys noticed this, or is this just me? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like I did do a funny post where someone had like taken some client words and put them really nicely designed on some pictures. But
Nice.
Yeah, I've seen there is a lot of complaints about clients. I think we take invoicing out of the equation. That seems to be one thing I see all the time. But what I think it comes down to, and actually we did cover it in the previous episode, which was clients might not know what the process is of working with designers.
Yep.
And so their comments, which are the things that the people were normally saying on stuff like Twitter or Instagram, is because they don't know. And if you don't tell them at the beginning, then how are they supposed to know this is not how it works? So if I come as a client to someone, I have no clue. If I've never been working with a designer, I don't have no clue. So being clear on the outset and maybe giving them like a welcome pack and say, this is what happens, this is the process, this is how we exchange ideas, this is how you give me, your feelings about the project and blah blah blah, and also about the the hard topic to talk about, which is the money. So if there's a good communication up front, there's less. I'm not saying that it's going to be completely foolproof in terms of they're not going to be, run around the houses and it's going to be not particularly nice. There's going to be those times, but as long as you can get the communication to be, the foundation of that communication up front, it will help the whole process. Yeah. And even if that means you're spending a lot of time on producing like a document that you give the person,
which you only need to do once, essentially.
Yeah, and then you just refine it as you continually, and that will just help and ease the fears of the client, because people do things, a lot of things out of fear and not understanding, and so if you can alleviate those fears and misunderstandings, then that will be bigger. That will make your job easier. You'll make the whole process easier, and then you'll be like happy to do on the next one.
And always it's learning. If something you have a hiccup or something quite big goes wrong, it's like, I'm going to take that on board, learn from it, and refine my processes, and so it shouldn't happen again in the future.
And it's taking what you should do, actually, what would be a really clever idea for a designer to do is go and find all these negativity and say, how can I turn that into a positive, or how can I alleviate that pain point?
Genius.
There you go. Say good night. Drop the mic.
Yeah, right. That's awesome, because exactly. You can be like on a sales page, you counter objections, right?
Yeah.
And your portfolio and where you get hired on your website, that is a form of sales page. So if you're saying, by the way, clients, you might be worried about X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Here's my answer to those, clear as day. I walk you through exactly how you don't need to worry about those common things.
Yeah, and like even before they contact you, have like a download this, little booklet, PDF. This is how it's going to work out. If this is not for you, then don't, just to make sure that you understand. If this is your first time, or a little video would be better in Tom's eyes, just welcoming them so they know who you are. They can get your your nuances off. So that'd be really helpful.
I think the expectation thing is a big problem, from both sides. That's what you were alluding to, Ian. I mean, it's that whole thing of if you're not clear on what your expectations are from the client, and the client isn't clear on what their expectations are from you, there's already a massive gap and there's big problems ahead. And I believe it's the designer's job to draw out what is important from what you need from the clients. It's not the client's job to make it clear to you. And I think I'm always amazed when I see, especially young designers, moaning about clients, because, man, then they're in for a bumpy ride, because that's their career choice. I mean, clients are what pay the money. You pay the bills, So you've got to treat them like
you're
gold.
in the wrong. If you don't like clients, what are you doing in client services?
I know. Right? I find that quite unusual, and I have noticed. I mean, when I was back in graphic design, the younger, I don't want to diss the younger graphic designers, but I noticed that amongst the younger designers, because it's kind of like they had this, again, going to expectations. They come into this industry, hey man, I'm a cool designer, I've got a cool job, and you need to know that this is I'm king of what I'm doing, and they have this expectation that everybody else understands what they do and their opinion is king, and it's not the case at all. And as Ian said, you have to educate your customer, first.
So this is the Honest Designers Show, so I'm going to be very, very honest here, even if it's not nice to admit it. Our team are amazing at Design Cuts, right? We're all about customer care. We look after our community exceptionally well, and I'm really proud of the work the team do there. But there has been probably one, maybe two occasions over the years where they've been a bit frustrated and they might be vocalizing that frustration around like, oh, this customer is like really difficult. It's natural, but when that's happened, I've actually jumped on it and been like, guys, why are we sat like loudly, essentially bad mouthing a difficult customer?
Yeah.
It's the customers that get us all to be able to sit here and do what we do day in, day out. Like they're our lifeblood. We should value them more than gold, you know. And I'm like, I'm not having it. And so, you know, as much as the team are amazing, equally from my side, I'm like, that's been hammered into like all training and stuff. I'm like, we respect the hell out of the customer. They're incredible. And yeah, some might be more difficult than others, but like, we're never going to be disrespectful towards them. I just think it's nuts. Like, can you imagine if other businesses, like, it's the fact so many of these designers are doing this on their public social media,
that to me blows my mind.
Which clients can see. Like, imagine it. This would be the equivalent of Design Cuts going all over our social media and be like, God, this client was an idiot today. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Let's poke fun at him. God, what a moron this client was. Like, God, he was a nightmare. Like, we would never do it, and no would any other business. Imagine if your doctor's surgery was like, oh God, this ugly guy came in today, like moaning about like his ankle. Like, what a fool. Like, you know, like there would be uproar. Yeah, it's like in our little private bubble of design Twitter, we think we can get away with it. And like clients are never going to see that. Like, I just think it's so damaging.
The thing is, and people pick up on the subtleties, because like something I do on my Instagram, which people keep commenting on, is the fact that I reply to questions that have been answered in the description. So maybe like people asking, like,
yeah, you've mentioned this.
What app are you using? And it's in the description every time.
Yeah.
But I just think, you know, that interaction is important. You know, that one, because you know, they might say, "Oh, thank you," and because I've been kind enough to mention what the app is, they might go, "Oh, I might buy some brushes from his shop," or you know, or he might recommend my feed to someone else. And it's like, you don't know what that one small, tiny thing will do.
That impact.
Yeah. So what do you think would happen? Because this is exactly what I see designers doing day in, day out. If your next post, you did like a little carousel or something, highlighting these people that asked these questions, and you went, aren't some of my community really stupid? Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Look at the fact that it says it right there. What a bunch of idiots. I can't believe they've asked that when, like, if they scrolled up like a few pixels, it's right staring them in the face.
Yeah.
What do you think would be the reaction if you posted
that? I think there would be like a small portion who would be funny, and then the rest of them be like,
this guy's
I've
a
asked that
douchebag.
question in the past.
Yeah. So the people themselves would feel terrible. I think majority would view you more negatively because you're such a nice guy all the time. They'd be like, that's not like the Ian we know and love. You probably get some unfollows, you might get some hate, and you get a handful of people who are like, ha ha ha, yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it's just crazy. And all right, here is a theory. You know, like I said earlier, I think people often do this more in the early stages of their career, and when they've found more success, they learn to love working with clients and so on. So I think bad clients primarily come from desperation.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you an analogy because we love those on this show. I think it can work. And this might be rocky ground to talk about, but I'm going to go there. I think it can work a little bit like that with relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine like younger Tom, and I'm like, oh, I really want a girlfriend, but I haven't got a girlfriend. And I'm down the park and there's some girl scowling a lot and like throwing stones at squirrels. And I'm like, well, she doesn't seem like the nicest person, but I really want a girlfriend. So I'm going to look past that and I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to date this girl.
Yeah.
And then she starts being really horrible to me. And then I start loudly bad mouthing for years to everyone that all women are awful because I haven't got a very nice girlfriend. That is the equivalent of what's happening.
It's true.
That is like, instead of being selective, we're accepting any old client that comes along because we're desperate for the money.
Yeah.
And then we handle them the wrong way. We let them exploit us and take advantage and treat us not very well. And then we say all clients are dreadful.
Yeah, and the whole
it's wrong.
I agree with that completely, because if I'm to be completely honest about my early days of graphic design, I was desperate, so I did take on not so savory.
So did I.
Yeah. So and then
I
you
did
find
have
yourself,
I did have some bad clients,
Yeah,
but I took them on.
Yeah, exactly. It was my decision. It was my choice, and yes, it was out of desperation because I needed the money. But you can't then run around and expect the person to be this ideal, perfect customer. It's client. They're not going to be. They're going to be those same desperate people like you were, who want a quick design for nothing or whatever their issue is. But I think it's important to take on the responsibility a little as well for the people that you deal with.
The thing is, you're a walking billboard for yourself.
Yeah.
And so I give this analogy of like, not an analogy, but like if I see like a local builder up to the pub.
How many builders in your village, mate?
Yeah, it sounds like there's plenty there.
So you go for a quick drink at the Builder's Arms.
Builder's Arms with the builder.
Yeah.
And he's like drinking heavily, and then he's like swearing his head off and having a go at people, and that reflects badly on his business. I'm like, well, I don't want to deal with him. And so you have to realise it's not just
you having a laugh over a client.
It's your whole how you act or respond on Twitter, on
absolutely
Instagram, what you post about, what everything is attached to your brand.
Yeah.
Like if someone's just working Saturday shift at a supermarket, and then they're still associated with that brand, so they're out and they're being mean to someone else. You see that, and you see the brand because of them.
Yeah.
Do you know? You see the eyes of the brand through that person, and you just have to think that every action that you do can be seen by other people, even more so now. So you might have a potential client who will say, well, I don't want I want to work with that person, and they're going to mouth me on social media.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go and use them. And so you have to think that's, how many interactions, how many people are going to see that, and one of those might be a client. And that's the thing you have to think. Should I post this? Will clients see it?
Yeah. Will I get a cheap laugh from a couple of peers?
Yeah. And they might think I'm funny, and then I'll be even more desperate for work because clients are not coming.
Exactly.
And the thing is, what we're talking about here is in the public setting, but I think it can be equally dangerous, and it's like a self-fulfilling mantra or prophecy, even just saying it to yourself or to your mate in private. Because suddenly that becomes what is ingrained in you and what you believe.
Yes.
And again, this is actually quite uncomfortable to say in a public setting, but we are the honest designers. So recently, I think I was struggling a little bit with some of our developers at my company, and through absolutely no fault of their own. They're awesome people, superbly talented. What I was struggling with was the fact that I felt like they weren't speaking my language as like a entrepreneur / designer, because you think in different ways if you're a designer versus a hardcore coder developer. And I was kind of saying, like, why aren't they getting this? It's really frustrating. Why don't they just get it in the ways that I see it? And I think, to be fair, they were feeling the same about me. And it's like, why isn't he saying it in this developer way? And so it would have been very easy for me just to fall into this recurring pattern of like, God, developers are a nightmare. They're really hard to work with. They're no good, and so on. And none of that's true. So what we actually did was we all got on a collective call together. We all kind of hashed it out and talked through everything. And now we're having more regular calls, and it is like magic is happening. Because we all start working together and we're all way more aligned, and we just get everything out there. And it's amazing because now it's like we're actually bouncing off each other as a group. And it's like the designer's like, oh, what if we do this? And the developer's like, oh my God, I'll take that idea and I'll make that even better. And that's how it should be. And that's what client work can be for designers. You can collaborate, you can work together, and you can create magic, or you can bitterly tell yourself this incorrect self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, they're really frustrating to work with. They don't think the same way I do. That's a nightmare. And you just keep telling yourself that. Where's that going to get you? That's your fault. That's your wrongdoing if you're going to be that shallow-minded. And I had to wake myself up. I didn't do it for very long, but I found I'd kind of told myself some of these, like, oh, that's really frustrating, a few times. And I literally like had a word with myself, snapped myself out. I was like, what are you doing? That's not a healthy approach. They haven't done anything wrong. This is on you. Now let's, all collaborate a bit more.
Yeah, and I think it's also a good life lesson to take difficult situations and then turn them around into something that you can grow as a person. Like, especially if you're a youngster that isn't used to confrontation and isn't used to dealing with sticky business situations. If you have to approach a client about, maybe they're pushing hard, like too hard back with everything that you put out to them, and they're constantly telling you this isn't good, that isn't good. You need to like put on your big adult panties and sit down with them and say, okay, hang on, what's going on here? Instead of going, well, these people are arseholes and why should I work with them? And they're always giving me a hard time. I don't think that benefits anyone. And they're going to walk away thinking, oh, designers, they're so airy-fairy. They don't listen to what you're saying. So you're just perpetuating this horrible kind of environment.
Do you feel like this is a metaphor for politics? And I don't want to go there.
No.
But it kind of is.
It is, yeah.
It's like everyone's all slacking each other off, and the other side, it's all blame, and it's the other side's fault. And you just get more and more and more polarized.
Yes.
And you just widen the gap between you.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah.
I think Vanilla Ice from 1980.
Ice, baby.
Wasn't it? Bum, 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 bum. I wasn't expecting him to jump into this episode. Ian, I know what you're going to say. Sorry, go ahead.
Wise words of stop, collaborate, and listen. So
Ice is back with a brand new mission.
Yeah, stop with the complaining. Collaborate with your client and listen to their needs.
This is so good.
That could not be more perfect, mate.
No.
So for the Design Cuts team who edit and listen to this, I really, really want this episode to be called Stop, Collaborate and Listen. I think we might have to end it there, mate, because of time, but that is perfect.
It is. One of your best, Ian.
You're literally cooking MCs like a pound of bacon, my friend. Stop. And that is so perfect. It's like, stop, take a breath, collaborate more with that, and listen.
Oh, nice.
He was obviously a prophet before his time, wasn't
he? We've often said that about Vanilla. Amazing, mate. Cool. Well, that's all we've got time for today. We haven't even really come up with that many solutions. It's more just don't do this.
Yeah, but sometimes people
I think it's
hear
about getting off on the foundation of getting off on the right foot. So stop out the complaining and then put those complaints into a document or a video or something that you can put
when you say a document, what, like where you cut out letters from a newspaper and send that to the client?
Yeah,
put the complaints in there. Okay.
I know where your fonts live and I will find them.
I have your files. I'm not releasing them. Amazing. Well, that's it from us today, but we hope this rant gave some clarity and got more of you onto team collaboration and team client, because we're feeling lonely over here, guys. But yeah, we will see you this time next week. That's bye from us. See you later. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode. As always, you can find full show notes over at honestdesigners.com or find us over on iTunes and now Spotify by searching for The Honest Designers Show. And remember, we're now on social media too, if you search for Honest Designers. If today's episode helped you, then it would mean the world to us if you took just a moment to leave us a quick review over on iTunes, as this is one of the best ways for other designers to discover the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you next week right here on The Honest Designers Show.